Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. Sorry, I had to. For some reason, I got my laptop machine was it restarted on me again just abruptly. So I'm not sure what's going on. It halted my Hangout when I got back on, and so and for some reasons it's not allowing me to resume the Hangout. I don't know what's going on, so I had to. I decided to not to bother with it. I'll have to figure out why my machine is doing that and is behaving the way it is. Maybe there's some intermittent issues, I believe. I don't know. I'll definitely have to get it diagnostics on it and see what the problem is and what the root of the problem is with my machine, with my notebook, so I can go ahead and cancel it out. I don't know, but I apologize for that situation where my Hangout ended abruptly. So, it ended due to the fact that my machine just restarted on me. It just cut off on me twice already within that 5-minute span. So I apologize for that, guys. I'll get to the root of that problem. But anyhow, I'll just go ahead and do a video upload instead. So Eddie Hearn has given an interview with The Guardian, which is a well-known, respected, independent publication in the UK. He's came out and said that the Anthony Joshua and Alexander Povetkin fight is not projecting to sell out. And the reason being he said here, quote, the reason why it won't project to sell out is because we've had to work a bit harder this time around to sell tickets, and it's been extremely difficult. And he also says normally, quote, when you go on sale with an Anthony Joshua fight, it just goes ping, meaning it just sells through the roof within a matter of minutes. But it's been slower than the Vladimir Klitschko and Joseph Parker fights. Now, the only thing that aggravates me is that anyone in boxing I've spoken to says it's a tough fight, whereas the man on the street goes to me and says, hey, where's the Deontay Wilder fight? And I say he has to get through Povetkin first, and they say, well, he'll knock him out. Who knows, right? And further, quote, if Povetkin had come over and tried to nut Joshua at the press conference, we would have had it sold out immediately. Instead, there's a lot of people saying, I will come in April for the Wilder fight. However, that's end quote. Now, however, Hearn has insisted that they are expecting at least 80,000, which is kind of odd because I thought, according to this report, another report it said about 75,000, but it is what it is. But according to this report by The Guardian, Hearn is insisting that he's expecting at least 80,000 at Wembley on the week of Saturday, with much problem coming down with the difficulty in selling the coach packages, which are required as part of the deal to hire the stadium. Now, the only tickets that won't go are the 15,000s, that we could sell as part of the coach package, which is, again, that's kind of bizarre because how is it expecting 80,000, but yet you have 15,000 is sold? Because I thought the capacity is 90,000. I don't know. It is what it is. But anyways, the only tickets that won't go are the 15,000 that we could only sell as part of the coach package. That was part of the deal. Now, we could have had 3,000 or 4,000, but people don't want to come by coach. However, we will have over 80,000 in there. All right. Meanwhile, Hearn has issued a warning that the growth of the number of fights that are held on pay-per-view will end in tears, quote unquote. Now, you can't say it is good for boxing because it is not. You know, we're in a strong position now because of our platform is solid and proven. But what will happen is that the other fighters will take risks on pay-per-views that won't work. Now, if the Josh Warrington and Carl Frampton fight in December does over 100,000 buys on pay-per-view, I'd be astonished. So how are the fighters going to make any money? Hearn also warned that Sky could do more financially for boxing when it comes to non-pay-per-view fights. This is very interesting. I'll leave it at that. So by that meaning, the pay-per-view market is about to die out. Now, what does that mean for Anthony Joshua, who is the so-called pay-per-view king? Now, has Hearn had hinted from that quote that they're expecting very, very, very low buy rates from the Joshua-Povetkin fight by that statement that he gave? I don't know. You tell me, but from my indication, that's what it seems like to me. Not only he's projecting a non-sellout for this fight, but he's also projecting a very, very, very low pay-per-view buy rate here. Now, this goes back to my prior videos and one of my prior statements. I said that regardless of what you believe on this whole Joshua and Wilder ordeal, when it came to the negotiations, Anthony Joshua and maybe Eddie Hearn, to an extent, had their profiles severely damaged over the situation because majority believe they were responsible for why that fight didn't take place. Okay? Now, I know some people who respectfully disagree with me when I said that, but this right here, giving this interview and the statements that Hearn has given to The Guardian proves my point. This Wilder fallout, the Wilder negotiation fallout, has really damaged Joshua in his reputation, or his profile, I should say, and Hearn's. And what further proves my point is that Joshua, more recently, a couple days ago, has given interviews saying that I want the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight. I want either one of those guys. I want them in the ring after the Povetkin fight. Okay? And he's talking about these guys as if that he doesn't have an opponent right in front of him. Yeah, and let's be fair though. He does acknowledge that Alexander Povetkin is his next opponent on the horizon, but from the looks of it, it seems like he's looking past that fight. Okay? And there's all indications about that, and I'll have to get to that in another video because to me, that's very detrimental for another fighter to do that. Okay? But needless to say though, 80,000 is still a lot of people either way. So they're still going to have a great crowd coming out. So you can't knock Joshua and Hearn from that. But again, I think it's due to the fact that, again, that people are just turned off about how, Joshua and Hearn handled the Wilder situation. And the fact that people are saying, look, just wake me up and let me know when the Wilder fight happens. Because some people are, which Hearn has admitted that they're going to just save their hard-earned dollars on something else until the Wilder fight happens because they expect more from their guy. So, in all fairness, Anthony Joshua does feel a little frustrated about this whole situation because he feels like, why is it that he feels that he's being more pressured to take on stiffer competition than the other world-class fighter out there. He may, he may feel that way he may have he may incline to believe that whatnot, which is true. I'm not saying it's true. Of course, I'm not going to deny the fact that he is being pressured as a champion to take on stiffer competition, and so is Wilder. And the fact that Wilder has been very severely criticized for not taking on the competition that he should when he became WBC champion. So Joshua definitely has a point there. But Wilder definitely took the ridicule, and he deserved some of that ridicule because I even had criticized him for the opposition that he was fighting. And to be fair, Deontay was bothered by that. That's why he had to take on Ortiz. So, and it was one of the fights that we wanted him to see. And now he's taking on Fury, which I know some people are going to argue, well, that's not, that's a foregone conclusion, but it's still an interesting fight given the fact that Tyson Fury is a very awkward style fighter. Which, by the way, he was awarded a number 3 ranking with the WBC, which was another bizarre thing. I'll make another video on that one because I want to point out some interesting points on that situation. The WBC with their ridiculous rankings, but it is what it is. But anyhow, back to the meat of the video here. Let's just hope for the best for Joshua and Hearn. I mean, yeah, things are not really looking good right now, especially with that undercard. That undercard is very, very, very poor. I mean, no disrespect to Luke Campbell, no disrespect to Lawrence Okolie. Okolie is is up-and-coming cruiserweight, so you can't really expect too much pressure from his standpoint. But Yeah, I mean, when it's a Wembley fight, a stadium fight like this, you got to stack the undercard, and this is not looking good for Joshua and Hearn. Let me know what your thoughts about this. I'm out.